The Macabre World podcast is brought to you by Darker Art Studio, home of real human bone jewelry. Stock and custom pieces are available, so visit us on the web at www.darkerartstudio.com and show them your darker art side. Macabre World, a podcast from Darker Art Studio, where we explore the dark, strange, and unusual from this world and beyond. Hi, and welcome to the Macabre World podcast. I'm your host, Rocky Digati, and today we are talking to Bert and Jasmine Bigler, who share their harrowing tale of living in a haunted house in South Jersey. So welcome to the episode titled A Haunting in South Jersey. Bert and Jazz, how are you this evening in your haunted house? We're speaking to you live from your, well, not live, this is a podcast, from your haunted house.
I'm doing fantastic. Bert, you?
I'm doing well.
There we go.
So has there been any activity tonight?
No, just a washer going off. Just laundry.
Oh, but that's the humans doing laundry, yes?
That's the humans.
It'd be nice if you could get the ghosts to do laundry, because that would be very
so
helpful. Great. Yes.
It really would. It really would.
Indeed, for sure. So the area that you live in, and we're going to kind of keep it general for privacy, was settled in the early 1880s. And what year was your house built?
1886.
So we're talking it's an original dwelling from the earlier days of when the area was founded.
Yes.
Now, how long have you lived there?
7 years. 7 years now.
So
yeah.
7 years. And when did the activity start and what happened?
The activity actually started the first night we moved in here. It happened to Kelsey. Kelsey was in their bedroom, leaning up against the wall, and Kelsey was the only one in the house because we were like in the process of moving, but Kelsey was already set up. So Kelsey was just like, I'm just going to stay, right? Nobody else in the house. Kelsey's leaning up against the wall, and 3 knocks from the room next door. Like, it sounded like somebody was in the other bedroom. 3 knocks on the wall right next to Kelsey's head. And Kelsey was like, well, yeah, all right.
So just to let folks know, Kelsey is your oldest child.
Yes, my oldest. Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So after that happened, any reaction the next day? I mean, it wasn't like the Amityville Horror where you hear "get out" and everybody just runs. No, not that dramatic.
No. I think we were all pretty much busy.
It seemed like a fluke.
Yeah. Well, Kelsey knew it wasn't a fluke, but the rest of us were just busy trying to move in, not really paying attention to much. I don't think it really started to be noticeable until maybe a month in, maybe. Yeah, it had to be about that, I think, because my grandmother was staying with us and she had Alzheimer's. And there was this one night. Now, obviously, she had Alzheimer's. She didn't sleep much. So she was crying and screaming in her bedroom.
Oh, my. That's
and
disturbing.
Kelsey came in and woke me up and was like, my mom is freaking out. So I went in there and I was like, Mom, what's wrong? What's going on? Why are you crying? And she's like, the little girl, she's crying. She needs help. And I was like, Mom, what little girl? And she said, the little girl, she's over here. And she walked me over to the attic door. Now, our attic door is just like, it just looks like a normal door, but my mom never paid attention to that door ever. Like, it was almost like she never knew it was there, because she would open everything. She never opened that door. But she went up to the door. She said, she's in here and she's screaming and she needs help and I can't help her.
I have to ask, did you open the door at that point?
I didn't. No, I didn't, because I was just trying to get my mom to calm down,
Sure.
But And then as time goes on, we find out, oh, there really is a little girl here. So it really was her crying, I guess, you know.
Trying to find
Uh,
some attention.
yeah, yeah. And my mom, being that she never slept, she heard everything. At first, I thought it was just the Alzheimer's, you know,
Now
but
that's kind of scary, more so for your
it
grandmother's
was,
reaction than
yeah.
what was actually going on. So you have that now. Did she continue to have reactionary events, regularly after that?
Um, I don't know if my mom saw or heard anything more after that. I'm not sure. But the little girl, she likes to mess with the kitchen. She turned the kitchen water on and off. So we checked, like, the gaskets, the water pressure, whatever, everything, to see if it was something was wrong with the water, but it wasn't. There was nothing wrong. She just like turning it on and off. Opening, closing the cabinet doors.
So
Um,
mild poltergeist activity.
yeah, yeah. She loved to lock our deadbolt, which we never lock. But we would leave the house and come back to the deadbolt locked when nobody was in this house except for her, the ghost.
Oh
So
my.
yeah, she loved to do that. We left this one time and we got down the street. We weren't even gone 15 seconds. And we forgot something. We had to turn around. Got up to the door, went to, unlock our normal lock. And we couldn't, the deadbolt was locked that quick. I
Wow.
was like,
Yeah.
you're kidding me.
Did you have to climb in a window?
No, I didn't have to climb in the window. We have a key for the deadbolt, so we were able to unlock it. We keep it with us.
I can see why.
Yeah, she likes to, play little games like that. So she loves Bert. Bert's her favorite. Big Bert is. Yeah.
And is she Bert's favorite?
No.
Resounding no from the back of the room.
No.
No.
So you've described that there's a little bit. Is there, how many spirits are there? Or because I should point out to folks that in addition to Jazz and Bert being terrific friends, I've been to the house. It is a beautiful, really cool old house, and it does have a sense of there's activity there. You kind of feel like something's up. And
Yes.
you mentioned the little girl. Is there more than one?
Yes. We also have a very large man. He gives off like an old farmer type of vibe. He actually has on bib overalls.
Now tell me how you figured out he was there, because you discovered, you said initially it was the little girl and your grandmother.
Yeah.
How did you discover the large man?
This was also Kelsey. Kelsey was the first one to experience him, and for some reason, he does not like Kelsey at all. He has thrown things at Kelsey. Kelsey has woken up with multiple scratches.
Well, that's frightening.
It is. It is. He screams at Kelsey to wake up. There's times where Kelsey can't get any sleep because he just screams.
Now, does anybody else besides Kelsey hear him?
I have seen him. I have not heard him. Bert has seen him too.
Yep.
I haven't heard him though, but Kelsey has. And what else has he done? I saw him from him standing at the foot of our bed.
Oh, that's disconcerting.
It is like we were sleeping and you could just get that feeling something's weird. Right?
Oh yeah, I know the feeling.
And I looked and he was standing there at the foot of the bed, just watching us, just staring. So I was just like, all right, I just closed my eyes and went back to sleep. I mean, what am I going to do?
Give him a show. I don't know.
Oh, like, all right, man, you want to watch whatever, you know.
The voyeur
Uh,
ghost.
but he was very large. Um, and then we also have uh she I think she's like in her maybe mid 20s, a woman, and it's like I've never seen this one. Kelsey has as well. This one likes to hang out in my son's room, but
Okay.
she
Now,
doesn't. But she
has
doesn't let my
has your
son
son
get.
had a lot of experiences as well?
I think he has seen her. Yeah, he said he's seen her like in the corner of the room. But she don't do anything though. Like she doesn't.
She's just hanging out.
She just hangs out there, just in that spot. I don't know.
Now, do you
I
do you have any information? Like, did you get anything from what you saw? Like from her, did she present in a way where you could say, oh, it was from a really specific time period?
Yeah, like I think almost like the era of when this house was built. Like it seems like around that era, like her appearance, like the longer dress that's
Right.
down and like a bonnet. You know what I
So you're getting
mean?
into that like almost Victorian look, Edwardian Victorian
Yeah,
look.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Kelsey has spoken to her once, and she had pointed out that she finds little Bert, our son, to be loud.
Well, that's not wrong.
No, plays video games, so he screams the whole time.
Right. Sure. Sure.
You know, but she's harmless.
Well,
She
has anyone been harmed? I mean, actually, has anything truly dangerous happened besides the scratches?
no, I believe just that. Wait, I mean, Bert got a giant gash in his face from what he says.
It's true.
Here,
Oh, I need to hear that story.
there you go.
I just woke up one time with a gash in my face, and they made fun of me and told me that I was being dramatic. But I don't scratch myself when I sleep. I don't touch my face, not like that. So
And you think you'd wake
that's
up from if you had done it yourself?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it was there and it wasn't there, and then it was there.
Right.
It wasn't real big. It was real little, but
It was a gash.
yeah, it was a little guy. It was on my nose, like on the side of my nose, I think.
So
It was a
I know that Jazz is, has always been in tune with spiritual things. Were you a skeptic when you moved into the house?
I was.
Tell me how you went from skeptic to not a skeptic.
Well, when it grabbed me in the middle of the night, that kind of changed my opinion.
Now, who
So,
do you know which entity
no.
no, you just got
All
grabbed.
I know is that it couldn't be rationalized like if someone had grabbed me. Like it didn't make any sense for it to be anyone the way it happened. See, now we lay in the bed and Jasmine, if you're looking at the bed, Jasmine lays on the right, I lay on the left. And I was laying on my right side and she was laying on her left side. And the way I was grabbed, it would have been, Jasmine would have been able to twist her whole entire arm around in order to get the grip that actually gripped my arm the way that it did. So it was physically impossible, and it woke me up out of a dead sleep.
Oh, no doubt.
It
So,
was a real swift grab, you know what I mean? Grab and release.
right,
So,
but a grab nonetheless.
yeah. And then after that, I mean, everything else just compounded it. So,
So, what are some of the things you've experienced personally?
I mean, what do you want to hear? Which ones do you want to hear?
Which one scared you the most?
The dog.
Huh?
The dog.
The dog bothered me. Yeah. The dog barking and staring at nothingness in the bedroom. That's unsettling. The other stuff is just kind of annoying.
Tell her about the dog when it said.
There's, well, I always try to tell folks that if you can imagine yourself being in a room with someone who can't see, can't hear,
Right.
and doesn't know you're there, that no matter what you do, even if you were to tap them on the shoulder, you're going to startle them.
Yeah, well, there's, the time that I saw the figure in the bedroom, it was quick, it was fast, but I saw it. That one was a little, that one was kind of, troublesome. Made me feel a certain way.
Oh, no
Uh, the
doubt.
s- the slippers that came out from underneath the bed, I mean, that just upset me
Now,
because
what do you mean? The slippers came out from underneath the bed?
I was vacuuming the bedroom and I was vacuuming down the sides of the bed. The bed takes up the majority of the bedroom. It leaves about a 8, 10, 12, 14 inch, something like that. Maybe like a 12, 14 inch gap on each side between the wall and the bed. And I was vacuuming down Jasmine's side of the bed and I was pulling the vacuum backwards. You sweep in a forward and backward motion.
Sure.
And a pair of her sandals slid out from under the bed,
Oh
just
my.
right in front of the vacuum, right out. And they were sandals with no strings, no nothing to them. They weren't sitting on something that the vacuum pulled. They just slid out. That was all. So I shut the vacuum off and went downstairs.
And made me go upstairs with him to finish vacuuming.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that one. There was that one. There was I'm trying to think of the other ones.
The time where it talked to us in the bedroom.
Yeah, there was a time it actually had spoke in the bedroom. Jasmine and I were in bed and the dog was in the bed with us and she was barking ridiculous.
Oh my.
Just standing up in the bed barking. We thought someone had come home because she'll bark if someone comes into the
Sure.
house, one of the kids. And what was it that I said? I can't remember.
Well, you were waiting for Kelsey. Kelsey's car was broke.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you thought Kelsey might have came home.
Yeah, Kelsey's car broke down. I was waiting. I thought maybe she had come home. She was waiting to call me. And the dog kept barking. And I said, what did I say to the dog? What was the exact quote?
No, it was me. I said, what is she barking at?
Yeah.
Yeah. I yelled, I yelled, what is the dog barking at like that? Because I was just frustrated. I was sleeping.
Yeah. And then the dog stopped barking.
Uh-huh.
And the voice said, yeah, what are you barking at?
As clear as day.
Oh wow. Clear. And you both heard it.
Yeah, it's like it was just sitting on the edge of the bed, just
Yeah, what are you barking at?
Reiterating what we said, like going along with yeah, what is it barking at? You know what I mean?
Like they're on the home team.
Yeah.
It was so audible. It sounded like someone had played it off of their phone or something.
Like it was right.
Like it was no whispering, none of that.
It wasn't subtle.
No, it was just like a person was standing there and said it. It was weird.
It was just like, yeah, what are you barking at?
Yeah, it's a woman's voice. That. Yeah. So
now maybe did it sound like it could correspond with what your son has seen in his room? That type of that woman maybe.
Yeah, probably. Very, very calm.
Yeah.
Not at all like distressed or anything like that. Just as if it was just a matter of fact, as if we were having morning coffee and a conversation.
What are you barking at?
Yeah. What are you barking? Like the ghost was as concerned with what the dog was barking at as we were.
Well, you all live together, so it's kind of a strange way to be family. Now, is that the only time you've ever heard a voice, or do you hear voices?
Well, I've heard whistling.
Yeah.
We've heard whistling. Yeah, that one of them will whistle. Yeah. You do hear them whisper from time to time.
You hear them upstairs if we're downstairs.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll talk upstairs while you're downstairs.
You go upstairs, try to find it.
Yeah, you can't find it. You go upstairs and try and investigate, and you can't find nothing.
Have you ever caught anything either on video or on audio, or tried to?
Jasmine got a picture of one time.
The
little girl, but it was reflection in a bowl.
Yeah, it was like a whole reflective but you could see her in the reflection.
Yeah, you could see her in the reflection. Yeah.
Oh, so very cool.
Yeah, it wasn't the clearest picture, but it was a picture.
But you could see her.
You could see her. Yeah, that's the one that likes to open the cabinets and turn the water on.
The ball.
The ball. play with the ball. Ridiculous. So, this house is built in the early 1800s, so it's currently being held up on like big giant jacks, you know what I mean? To prop the floor up.
Sure.
So the middle of the living room has an arch in it. Okay. So anything from the middle will go left or right. If you're sitting where I'm sitting, which is dead in the middle. Okay. Well, we had she had a workout, yoga ball, workout ball that would always go down to was it the clock?
Yeah.
It would roll to the clock and kind of lean against the clock.
Yeah.
You just can't help it. It's gravity in the way the house is. Until one day the ball decides to roll the other way,
which is uphill.
It just goes right up, no problem. Hey, look at me. I'm a ball playing by myself. Just right up. Now,
it would be startling to anyone. With your initial reaction, were you scared?
No. So at this point,
This
was one of the recent ones.
Yeah.
I mean, after a certain amount of shocks, you kind of get over it and you just kind of accept for what it is, except for the one that I refuse to accept and I hate to this day was the witch in the chair.
I forgot.
Oh yeah, I will never forget.
Are we going to differentiate between the witch in your living room chair right now?
There's currently a witch in the chair,
Yes.
but there was a fake witch behind the chair. So it was
a Halloween decoration.
Yeah, it's a decoration Jasmine has had for years.
Oh yeah, it was your grandmother's.
It was my grandmother's.
Yeah.
So this witch is a classic style caricature of a witch, and the dress is made of like a poly something.
Yeah.
It's like very, you can,
Crunchy.
it's crunchy. You can hear it. It moves. You know what I mean? It's kind of looks like the witch from the Wizard of Oz. Kind of resembles that a little bit. So everyone was out back, including the dogs. Jasmine, Kelsey, little Bert, Zoe, the dogs. I was in the chair. The doll was directly behind the chair and it faced a certain direction. Okay. I'm sitting with my back to the doll and I hear the dress.
So you hear like a rustling.
So I turn the chair fully around and the doll is facing the complete wrong direction. And that one sent me over the edge. I had to go.
He came out back and was like, babe, get in here now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get in here now. I go in there. I'm like, what? He's like, which way was that witch facing? I said, well, not that way.
Right. So, the thing of it, Rocky, is that if the thing wants to twist handles, and that's fine, it turns on the water. Hey, look at me. I'm going to lock the door. Ha, ha, ha. We're having fun. Games. Right? Until you start messing with dolls. Because horror movies have trained us that this is the worst possible scenario when you're dealing with a ghost.
I remember when dolls and clowns used to be innocent. Not anymore.
Right. No. So that's a no-no. That's a negative. That's when it's time to burn the house down. You know what I mean? That's when it's time to get everything out, send in something.
Too bad we can't stay. It's just like, so, I mean, have you done any research on the house to maybe see?
No.
As far as like looking back at the deeds or anything?
No.
Don't want any, attach any research or identity to this?
Nope. None.
That's a big nope. Okay. It's a bucket of nope.
He can never know about it.
Yeah. So
he will get very angry.
I don't want to bring people in.
Right.
I mean, I guess I can't stop anyone from really researching the house, but I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it.
Right.
I just prefer not to know, because right now I feel like we have an agreement, like we're cool, hey, while you're downstairs making coffee, we're gonna whistle and run down the hall, and that's cool. That's what they're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Is it like a daily occurrence? Do you have something happen every day, or?
No, I mean, there have been times where it was it was almost like every day.
Yeah.
And then we'll go months and months and months without anything.
Like it's been a long
Oh, okay.
time.
So it's intermittent.
It is intermittent, and I don't know why that is, but
I'm not sure why either. As we've discussed, because we're all friends, we have activity in this house where Steve and I live, and it's never like all the time. It's
No.
just like occasionally something will get your attention and make you go,
Yeah. Every once in a while they'll go, "Hey, we're here.
We're still
And you
here."
go, Thanks for doing that."
Oh,
And
the
then,
picture.
yeah, I remember the picture. I remember the hockey stick.
Oh yeah.
What happened with the hockey stick?
So my landlord, we rent this house for now, was a hockey player. So he had a bunch of his stuff still here that
Okay.
he never took. And there was stuff in the basement. Now our basement's old house, so it's old style. It's a creepy wooden stairwell. It's got the shelves in it, like the pantry shelves.
Right. Like a root cellar kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep. So I keep tools and stuff on there. Where I had a roll of fishing string, and we were using it for something, and I put it on the pantry shelf. Well, it fell down the steps, and I just was like, "I'll get it later." Well, when I need it, I'll go down and get it. You know what I mean? So about 2 months later,
I don't really know.
I think it was 2 months, 3 months, whatever. It doesn't matter. Time frame's irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine goes, "Hey, I need the fishing string. Do we have any?" And I said, "Yeah, it fell down the basement." And so she went down there, grabbed the spool. Of course, it was unraveled a little bit. And as she's pulling it, it pulled the hockey stick because it had been tied in a perfect knot around the hockey stick.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
got booby trapped by your ghost?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it was sitting in the corner going, you know, little laugh, like, "Gotcha." You know? So there was
that's
that.
crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like people go down in the basement. No one goes in the basement ever. I go in the basement every
Just
once in a
you.
while. If Jasmine has to, under necessary circumstances, she'll go down there.
Do you avoid the basement because it's creepy?
I don't avoid it. No, I'll go down there, but the rest of the family avoids it. You know, they don't
Are they
like
creeped
it.
out?
Yeah, they get a bad vibe about it.
So, you don't want any kind of research. You don't want to know any of the backstory.
No, do you?
I'm always curious, and it's not just specifically your house. Anytime someone tells me a story, and I know it's a place that's been there for a while, I'm always curious if the experiences relate in any way to anybody who may have lived there. They don't always. I've been doing historical research for, oh my goodness, about 30 years. So, I mean, I've done research for paranormal groups. I've done research just for my own edification. And it's not always something that matches up.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, for example, you've described a man, a woman, and a young lady child.
Mm-hmm.
So the chances are, in the hundreds of years that house has been there, there's no really way to tell which man, woman, or child would be either, because that's kind of a kind of an easy combination to hit. Right. So there could be, several men who lived in that house.
Yeah.
And
Several.
Because of the area you're in South Jersey, which is mostly farmland, the idea of a male farmer, I'm sure that's not horrifically unique. So it's not always, too easy to figure out which, if it lines up with a story.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes you can learn things and it really doesn't teach you anything you don't know.
I'm not compelled to learn any of that stuff at all.
Now, have you ever used anything like a ghost box or anything? I know you.
No. What?
No ghost box, no portal.
What?
No.
What did you say, ghost box? It's time for you to leave. So for the listening ears, here's the difference between probably me and everyone else. Like, if the ghost was like, "Get out," and you guys would be like, "Oh my God, there was a ghost. We got to hear the ghost." Me, I would have my stuff packed and in the van and far away. I don't want to know. Get out, no problem. Can I take my stuff? Oh, let me just leave it then. Out. On. See ya. You know, I'm not trying to figure nothing out. I don't like Rubik's Cubes. You know what I mean? This puzzle can stay a puzzle, you know?
Just going to take it as it is.
That's right.
Just going to take it at face value.
It's never really done anything like that. You know,
it doesn't sound like it's been especially threatening, although being grabbed or scratched doesn't sound like something that's a good experience.
I mean, is it or isn't it? I mean, it's not like, you know, I mean, I did feel a little bit like Jodie Foster in The Accused.
Stop it.
There's no pool table in your house. I've been there. Okay.
Just taking advantage. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I mean, you know, you were molested in your sleep. I got that.
No, the grabbing was just like, I think it was just I don't know. I don't know.
First experience, yours.
Yeah, that was mine.
That was your very first one.
Yeah. And you know,
that's a hell of a way to get introduced.
And
he used to tell me when I told him I see things or hear things that I was crazy.
You know,
that shit ain't real. That's what he would say.
One of the things I thought of was that, you know, back then when that happened, of course, I was like 100 pounds heavier and I had sleep apnea real bad.
Sure.
I would stop breathing in my sleep.
Oh, absolutely. That does happen.
Maybe it was trying to wake me up to get me to breathe.
Well, that can bring me to my next story.
Oh, God. Go ahead.
Okay.
Here, let me give her this.
All right. So that will bring us to this story talking about something grabbing him. This one is a recent one, which I'd say I think it was over the summer that this one happened. He was sleeping. We were both in bed and he was snoring really bad this night. And it woke me up. So I rolled over and went to like face him. And when I rolled over, I saw a woman spirit on his side of the bed. And she was pacing back and forth while he's snoring. And I'm just watching her pace. And then she grabbed his arm and she shook him. And it was like not much, like maybe 15 seconds later, he woke up and went downstairs. And in the morning, he was like, I don't know what happened. I didn't sleep very good. I couldn't sleep. So I came downstairs. Well, I started laughing. I was like, I know what happened. He was like, just don't tell me. Don't tell me. So once that happened, it like threw me back to when we first moved here and that happened to him. And I'm wondering, like, was that her? You know what I mean?
Maybe it was a helpful thing, you know.
And maybe it's a helpful thing, like, hey, you need to get up. You're not breathing right, you know. But he came downstairs and slept in a recliner the rest of that night. Like his allergies were bad on this night, so he got like, you know.
So the idea of somebody who has sleep apnea, and as Bert said at the time, he was a little heavier, so it's very easy to get obstructed when you, especially if you're too flat. But you know, that sounds helpful. I have a problem wrapping my head around the helpful concept of scratching. That's a little.
I got nothing on that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that's about.
You saw the scratches that they got?
Yeah. Well, Bert's, I just laughed at because I'm sorry. It was so minute and so small, but he's very dramatic.
It was a scratch.
But it was a single.
It was like a little, like it was right in between his eyes at the top of the nose, like a little.
So in between the eyebrows, in the unibrow area.
He was acting like he got into a fight with Freddy Krueger. Okay.
How do you know he didn't? You know, but it was like a single line scratch, correct?
Yeah.
Now Kelsey's scratches
are bad. Like all like just full, like a whole hand, like just scratched Kelsey. You know what I mean? And
one of the things they always describe is they seem to take note on these shows if it's a three three pronged, I don't know, three finger, three
Yeah.
claw, a
Right.
three line scratch.
Right. I'd have to ask Kelsey and see, because I
Well, maybe
didn't.
we'll have to do a little afterward at one point.
Yeah.
And get Kelsey's
Absolutely.
view on that. Well, the
Yeah.
thing, and I said it earlier, is, one of the things I've always said, and when I talk with folks about this sort of caper, is that it is difficult if you want to just take it down to basic communication. Most people aren't aware or don't sense the spirit world. They can't
Mhm.
see it, they can't hear it.
Mhm.
So if some entity wants your attention, even if it's a benign thing, because you're not seeing or experiencing it, because your senses aren't tuned to it, it's going to come
Yeah.
out of nowhere and it's going to scare you half to death.
Yeah.
Because and it's that kind of, it's how else are they going to get your attention? But a scratch seems a little malicious, but
Yeah.
but
Well,
maybe it's not. I can't speak for it.
I don't know. Well, Kelsey, I don't think anything has happened in a while. I'm not sure, unless Kelsey's just like, meh, whatever, and not saying anything. So I'm not sure if he's still bothering Kelsey or not. But there was the time that I was in the basement, the creepy basement, and I was fixing the window was falling out. So I was trying to push the window back in, and our basement is completely clean. We have nothing down there. Just concrete. That's it. We don't have storage. We have nothing down there.
Yeah, fishing line and hockey sticks.
Fishing line and hockey stick. Yeah, all that's gone now. Like now it's complete. We had a plumbing issue, so now we got nothing down there.
Gotcha.
But so I was putting in the window, and then I heard coming from the other side of the basement and running towards me, bare feet, like running on the concrete. It was just slap, 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 slap towards me. So I turned around, and when I turned around, it stopped.
Ooh.
So I was just like, all right, well, I'm gonna go back upstairs because it was just chasing me. I mean, I'm okay with it now, but it freaked me out.
Again, startling. I think it's also important to kind of note the difference between when someone's startled and when they're scared.
Yeah.
Can be anybody can be startled by anything.
Yeah. Yeah, but, I wasn't expecting somebody running across the basement.
It's unexpected, it's sudden, and it's, disconcerting, sure, but it's not necessarily something that, terrifies you to the core.
No.
Or does it?
No.
Have you felt terrified with that kind of activity going on?
I don't think I've ever felt terrified. The man just gives off a bad vibe. Like, I'm not real crazy about him, but I've never been terrified.
Now, have you ever thought about cleansing the house or anything like that? Or do you just want to live and let live and keep it be?
Yeah, I live and let live,
Sure.
Yeah, we have done things in Kelsey's room, though, just because of the extent to what has happened to Kelsey. You know what I mean?
Would you use sage or?
I have saged, and as well as other things in there.
And well, the scratching only happened once, yeah?
I think so.
So did it work? I guess.
I guess maybe it worked, I don't know. Let's hope.
So, so life with the ghosts. Now, I know that Bert was a skeptic until he moved in and you started having the unusual activity. My question would be also, and I know that you've always been in tune with spiritual things, so it wasn't like you needed any convincing. And of course, the kids have had their experiences. Has anyone that doesn't live in the house, like when you've had people over, or has anyone outside of the family had an experience?
Yeah. Rich, he was over here using our bathroom, and he said he heard somebody knocking on the wall and a little kid's laugh, and there was no little kids here.
And how did he
So
handle that? Was he okay with it, or was he just
it
perplexed?
freaked him out. No, it
Oh,
freaked him out, and he went outside. He
oh
went.
dear.
He didn't want to. He didn't want to be in here anymore. Did anyone else have any experiences here? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
I've been over a few times. I have not.
No, you haven't had any.
I have not. That's not saying it won't happen at one point,
Right. Yeah.
you know. And if I bring my puck over, we won't tell Bert.
No, we do that when Bert's not here.
Should also
Or
point out that
I go into my special room and
there you
know,
go. There you go. Well, I should also point out that you mentioned Rich and Bert. Rich Olson and Bert Bigler and Chris Natalini have a podcast themselves that's every Monday night, and it is the Brothers Grimm.
Yes.
And folks who are interested in metal music, comedy, and general tomfoolery should definitely check it out, because the gentlemen have a wonderful time and explore all kinds of cool music. And also, we're going to have on your slide the Facebook social media IDs for both of Bert's bands. Bert is a fantastic bald bass player. And those of you who know me and know Bert know why that's funny, because the fantastic bald bass players are going around. And so definitely check out his bands, Burned in Effigy and Super Terrific Action Team. Yes. So there's lots. I really appreciate the both of you taking some time and talking about your experience. I hope that you continue to have a happy home. And I promise I won't research it, Bert.
Okay. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Well, if you do, we just won't tell him. It's okay.
That's kind of the way that works. Yeah.
This cannot be lies and deception.
Why?
Because it just can't be. That's how stuff goes awry, is when you start doing that. All right.
Oh my God.
And next thing you know, the dolls move.
Exactly.
I mean, that's already happened. So it's
I figure
fine.
we're in the clear.
We're in the clear. The dolls already moved. Now it's time to take it a step further.
Conversation's over.
And with that, we're going to sign off. I want to thank you guys for taking your time to come out and talk with me. And we will hopefully hear more in the future. Maybe we'll get a chance to see some evidence. Maybe we'll catch something on tape. Maybe you'll.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
I would love to see that. So once again, Bert, Jazz, thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful night. And thank you everyone for listening. This is Rocky Digati and Macabre World, and we'll talk to you next time. Stay kooky, my friends. Thank you for listening to Macabre World. You can find us on the web at www.darkerartsstudio.com.